Hello everyone, in this video I decided to collect absolutely all the facts and bugs I know about the new acid map in the Melon playground. Subscribe to the channel, put your like and enjoy watching. If you put the object on the last layer, then when immersed in acid it will not be visible. This was in version 23.0, but recently with the release of new small updates, this was changed and now everything works correctly. If you take a bludgeon and dip it in acid so that only the ball dissolves, then when this happens, the chain will freeze. And it will disappear only if we dissolve the handle. Here's what it looks like with a big bludgeon and a longer chain. But if you take a Monroe bomb and dip it in acid in slow motion, so that the acid only touches the glowing line a little, then when it goes out, pause and remove the bomb, then the glowing triangles will remain and they can even be moved. Go to an acid map. Stick a syringe with acid into the NPC, then it will turn off the collision. And if you turn it on and revive the melon, then its texture will be restored, but it will remain in the form of a skeleton. If you dip the melon in acid and get it out very quickly, then wait until only the skeleton remains of it. Take the red and green syringes, then stick the green one first, and then the red one. Next, if we dip it half in acid, then the head will detach and behave very strangely. It will jump in the air, even though the body will just lie down. It can also move by itself, even over acid, and will not fall. At the same time, if we lift the body, the head will fall. The following fact is related to the same NPC. If his head is dipped in acid, even if the head is almost completely dissolved, the NPC will still not die. And even without legs, he will be able to live and will not fall. Also, did you know that if you dip Melon in acid, and when he turns into a skeleton, stick a green syringe into him, then only half of his skin will be right on the skeleton. This way you can make double NPC. If the scooter is dipped a little in acid and immediately taken out, it will spin endlessly. If you make Melon immortal, put him near acid and shoot him at point blank range with a shotgun, then he will endlessly spin in acid. And even if you take it out and then dip it back in, it will continue to spin. If you dip a snowman in acid, it will turn black and part of the texture will also disappear, but it will still be able to roll on the floor. The same thing happens with the melon cooler, it also turns black. Also a new way to open gifts. Now it is not necessary to break it so that the toy falls out, but simply dip it in acid, the box will dissolve and the toy will remain intact. And also for some reason, toys dissolve in acid for a very long time. If you take a candlestick, put candles in it, and dip it a little in acid, then something strange will start happening to it and it will spin. And also it will not be possible to turn it on so that the candles are constantly glowing. The ropes do not have an animation of dissolving in acid, they simply disappear when the objects they are holding on to dissolve. You all know that in a Molotov cocktail, there is a liquid inside that can flow like this, but if you dip it in acid, nothing will happen to the liquid and it will not leak out. I think it would be very difficult to make it flow out. If you take any weapon that consists of several parts, such as a revolver, dip it in acid and quickly get it out, then the drum will disappear. If you take the thruster and turn it on near the acid, then an animation will appear on the floor as if it touches the acid. If you dip the helmet in acid and get it out, it turns black, and it also works with many other clothes. With the advent of the new acid map, I think everyone already knows that if you dip a working object into acid, such as a gun or a car, and get it out until it completely dissolves, then this object will no longer work. But did you know that if you do the same with a bomb, it will also stop working and will not explode, but if you detonate any other bomb near it, it will also explode. The beam from the motion sensor is transparent and does not exert any physical pressure on objects, but in the new update, for some reason the acid reacts to it as if we immerse something in acid. If you dip any transport in acid and get it back, then you can't put NPCs in it. And when we try to plant the NPC for the second time, its place will be red as if someone is already sitting there. This works with absolutely all vehicles, but I have not been able to check it with the scooter. The heartbeat monitor can be dissolved to a state where we will only have the white stripe itself. It is most convenient to do this in slow motion. And at the same time, it will work. Also, if we increase this band, then the heart will also increase. If you take a fire extinguisher, freeze it, press the toggle button, and throw it into acid, then we can see how very flat bubbles come out of it. And if you increase the fire extinguisher, the bubbles will also increase. In the Melon playground, there are things that can recover themselves after dissolving in acid, and at least one of them is a rocket launcher. I don't understand how it works. If it is dissolved half in acid, then run an advertisement. Then after the advertisement, we can see that all rocket launchers are completely recovered. And it is also interesting that, after this, there will be no effective dissolution in acid, and they will simply disappear. Things that can break and which have the unbreakable function, when this function is activated, they still dissolve in acid, and I do not understand whether this is a bug or not. It is perhaps logical that they do not break, but dissolve. But why then they do not collapse under fire, but only turn black? Write in the comments, what do you think about this? The next bug is that if you tear off any limb from Melon, put it in acid, then Melon will die, even though he did not touch the acid in any way. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and good luck to you.